cosmic revelation, smashing through the mainstream like a comet of prophecy. You're watching Planet Vrilock, your podcast for everything super, psionics, and magic tech. Welcome to my show. I'm going to talk about psionics, what works, what doesn't, and why you should join my club, as well as what your goal should be. I'll try to wrap this up real quick. Essentially, psionics is mental projection, focused concentration, and often applied through machines or electronics. Or I should say that our minds interface with machines in order to affect change and conformity to the will of the operator. Now, psionics does work, but there are times when it doesn't work. I know a number of people who've tried radionics. It seems to work sometimes, and then other times it doesn't. And they wonder why, and people will jump around to different magic systems and go to this shop and that shop, and never really, secure a path to achieving their ultimate goal. And maybe that might be because you don't have a clear idea of what your goal is. I'm going to help you with that right now. To begin, every magician, witch, or wizard shares one problem in common. There is a lag between operation and results in any kind of magic, no matter which system you're working with. Well, in psionics, we aim to achieve real-time working results. This takes training, practice, becoming accustomed to navigating in the environment of psionics. So I'm going to explain a little bit right now about how that is. Often when we're interfacing with magical objects or tuning radionics, even with my breakthrough in variable machines, this doesn't change. We're interfacing with something going on in our mind, not necessarily what's going on with the actual instruments. Although there is something to be said about the instruments as well. I'll get to that. What we're doing when we're tuning our instruments is we are imprinting an intent, whether it's clear or not, coherent or incoherent, that is being imprinted to the back of our mind, to the small brain, the subconscious. What happens is that's later projected. How is it projected? Is it through the machines? Well, in part. But it's mostly projected through your chakras, via your brain as your computer, your most powerful psionic instrument, and your chakras. And this is something of a system that's beyond ordinary space-time as we know it. And I can detail that for you more in the club when you talk to me through my messaging system. So that's one thing that's happening. A lot of times, the best way to know this is true is when you work a psionics operation and then later, hours later or a day later, you receive some impressions and it's like, what was that delay all about? I just got this vision. Well, that's because it's being projected outside of your ordinary space-time by your chakras, and it's coming from the imprint that you put in the back of your mind. That's usually what's happening. Another phase of psionics is, of course, when we're working with the machines and something in the invisible world picks up on what we're working with, and that's tuned into the machines and then transmitted usually through electronics, radio waves, eloptics, and electromagnetic fields. And then, of course, there's the magical aspect of working with various patterns, sigils, and glyphs, and pentacles, and various magical drawings. that these two-dimensional patterns have a link to a thought form that's associated with some kind of pre-existing or supposedly pre-existing consciousness or spirit entity. The third phase, and this is the goal, is when we sit down to work with our machines. We put a helmet on or whatever peripherals we prefer to work with, a hand plate or a prayer board, and we tune our machines. And within moments, sometimes instantly, we have a vision. And through our training and our time-honored practice of meditation, we are able to instantly navigate through that vision and make real-time results, real-time influences, but only if we're able to navigate in that environment. Because when we do go through that third phase in psionics, we're entering a different type of environment, a different state of mind. And if you're thinking the wrong way, it's basically like a bubble popping. The whole thing falls apart. We have to be able to navigate through that. So when you join my club, that's what I'm training you up for, is I'm giving you a lot of information. There's some special reports that you can buy at club member exclusive prices. I have a messaging system that's free to use where you can contact me about the materials and I explain it to you. And then you absorb a lot of information while also doing your basic training. And it could take you a year or two to master some of these psionic skills. But once you do, psionics can give you a freedom. Psionics can give you freedom that you can't get anywhere else. Also, psionics is like the one guarantee that nobody can take away from you. It's not an object. It's not your machines. It's right in here. And you get to take this with you in this life and into the next. So if you're interested in supporting my work, or you want to train up in psionics, or both, please go to Vrilock.club and choose a level of commitment. Now, 2 years in my club, that's just under $600. That's not a bad deal for gaining knowledge, attaining wisdom, and learning psionics, which will give you true freedom. I firmly believe this, that psionics is true freedom. And I'm here to help you break free from the chains of what the society has ensnared us in and made us its servant. The state does not dictate to us. We dictate to the state. We dictate to the state. So until next time, as always, keep the magic high. This is Tom Vrilock, signing out.